Janbask Training. Learn and grow.
We have started with the dysentery. Okay, as I explained here, at every node you have to make a descent, and that node will give you like a output yes or no or 0 or 1. And how to build the condition for that we'll see later with our algorithm. And what we are going to learn today, regression, all this, accuracy, entropy and all. Trees are nonlinear graph like data structures in the computer science. Okay, as shown here, the similar structure is shown in this notepad. That every time if you see the branches like branch A, it has to make a decision whether it go towards B or E. At branch B, the decision has to be made C or D or F. Okay, likewise. Each letter circle represents a node. Okay, each red line in an edge between two nodes. Okay, you can say the direction line towards the node. A is called master node. B and E are called child nodes. Okay, in the second branch, B is called master node. C, D, F are called child nodes. The topmost node A is called the root node or master node. Each node has one parent except the root node. Okay, for example, A is the parent to B and E, the parent and child concept. One node can have more than one children, like B. If you see, it has three children. Okay, C, D and F. And nodes at the bottom with no further children of their own are called leaf nodes. That means the last node is called the leaf node. One is root node, the child nodes and the leaf nodes. The objective of the dysentery is to get to the leaf node. Okay, here. If I want to classify the number 8, I will check it is greater than 5. Okay, yes or no. Yes, it is greater than 5, obviously number 8. Then it will come to this left side branch. Then it will again check whether it's greater than 9 or less than 9. Then obviously it is less than 9. Then it will come to this branch. Okay, now here the node is whether less than 9 means it can be 8 or 7 or can 6. Okay, because it is greater than 5, less than 9, that's the condition we got it here from these two nodes. Then there are three options available, 6, 7, 8. 8 will come to this node. Then your algorithm will stop. If you get into the leaf node, then your algorithm is stopped. If it comes to J, G, L, these are the leaf nodes, then it's the end of the algorithm. Each node has a certain depth which at which level the nodes, for example, L has a depth of 5. Okay, so if you see here, first, second, third, fourth and L. In L, it's a what's the depth? Okay, depth is what is the distance of the node. I am talking about this node. Okay, from the root node, that is called depth. It's an important concept, depth. Why? I will tell you in a very short while. Okay, what is the depth? Suppose for 8, the depth is 1 is itself 1, then 2, then master node 3. So for for this example, for getting into the leaf node, that requires a depth equal to 3. This is P, yeah? P R U N N I N G. Okay, there is a concept called pruning. Okay, the use of that I will come to at last. Dysenteries, we learn a model that predicts the target variable by learning simple rules from the input data. Okay, these input variables and rules can be represented in a non-linear tree structure we have seen before. Okay, they create non-linear boundaries to classify data. Okay, so non-linear boundaries means here it's very simple, but sometimes means in actual sense it's a non-linear function will be created by the descent tree to classify to the left branch or the right branch always. Descent trees can also predict output in case of multiple class. Logistic regression, I told that it's a multi-class output. SVM is a multi-class output. What is multi-class output? Okay, the concept, this is you. If it is the at the y, if you are predicting only yes or no, okay, then it is a binary output. Okay, it is a two class output because yes is a class and y is also another class. Suppose in that same instance, if you are predicting yes, okay, y, probably, okay, there is another class I have added, probably means I am not sure, and one is complete no. Okay, the decision can be anything, algorithm can be anything, whether the person will buy the or not. So yes, the person can buy, the person may buy, and the person will not buy. Okay, so we call it a multi-class because there are more than two class output, means we are dividing our entire data into more than two class. Okay, so yes, probably not. This is called the multi-class. It's not required that always it will produce yes or no, but if you see most of the time, but in KNN we use only a binary output. Okay, whereas your SVM, okay, descent tree and logistic, all these are LR, logistic regression, all these are multi-class output. Multi-class outputs are those algorithms are very powerful because it can predict two or more classes. Normally, and most of the time, if you go through actual dataset, you will get a multi-class output. Nothing to worry about it. You need not do anything. The same way, X train, Y train, you divide, you train it, you give your X test, the machine will predict. Similar to the normal trees, the nodes represent a predictor variables in the descent tree. Edges represent the rules, and the leaf nodes represent the class level. Okay. So here, like, is a person fit? The model is checking on the basis of one feature, that is the age. Age less than 30, yes or no? Yes. Suppose a person is greater than 30, yes. It's a lot of pizzas. Okay. So if yes, then the unfit, if no, then fit. It's very simple way it is mentioned, but in actual, the algorithm takes a lot of features like age, if the person do exercises, okay, yeah, it's there. Eating habits, exercises habits, all these things will take into account in the actual sense. This is an oversimplified model, but it's a good starting point to understand the descent tree to visualize them. Okay. Just see once in the descent tree, means this graph, you will understand the branching. Getting into the branch, before that, a rule has to be specified. Here the rule is yes or no, like age is 30, yes or no. It's a lot of pizzas, yes or no. Exercises in the morning, yes or no. Here the descent trees can be used for the regression, okay, predicting a value and predicting a class. Okay, that is the classification as well as regression. These, suppose these are the numbers given. Okay, you have given lot of features here. On that basis, this is the y. So the y can be anything. It can be a regression class. Okay, so it can be a regression problem. Regression means you are predicting a number. Okay, in that you can use the descent tree regressor, okay, DTR, and otherwise you can import the descent tree classifier. Okay. When we are dealing with a target variable with discrete categorical value such as healthy, unhealthy, smoker, non-smoker, then the trees are called classification. Okay. So when there is a category yes, no, so this type of are called categorical variable. So when the target variable is a continuous variable such as cells, weight, okay, then the tree is called regression. Let me tell you what is continuous variable and what is categorical. Categorical is a category, like it's written yes is a category, no is a category, okay, most probably is a category. These are called category. Continuous variable is something you are predicting like 5.3, okay, 8.6, 1, 2, something, or 9. These are called the continuous variable. Okay, numeric variable with decimals or without decimals are called the continuous variable. The classification tree is used to separate data set into classes belonging to response variable. Like the main purpose is to divide the data set into different classes. Okay, so yes, no, like that. Usually the response variable has two classes, yes or no. Okay. If the target variable has more than two categories, then the variant algorithm is called C4.5 is used. Okay. Nothing, it tries to say that if it is more than two variable, then it's a multi-class output. Nowhere it will be used, only you have to import the descent tree. The model behind is called C4.5, but in actual sense, you have to import and work with the descent tree only. So split the data set based on the homogeneity of the data, rigorous measures of purity based on the computing proportion. Data that belong to a class such as entropy or Gini index are used to quantify the homogeneity in the classification tree. There are two new concepts. One is called impurity and homogeneity. Okay. Impurity is nothing but you receive your leaf node. We call it the all intermediate steps are the impurity. If you see in our structure, this structure, what we have created, okay, it's a structure, it's the descent tree we have created. So here in the descent tree, what the purpose, you have to classify the number 8. Okay, it's a very simple yes or no type. Okay, so at the first node, it only checks whether the number is greater than 5 or not. Okay, but you have not to number 8, so that means impurity is there in this node. Okay, that means it's not pure, you have not got into a leaf node or the correct value yet. So that's why we call it the impurity is still there in the root node or master node. Then come to the second node, it will check whether it's greater than 9 or less than 9. Okay, then still you have not got into your leaf node. Leaf, your ultimate aim is to get classify 8 into a leaf node. Okay, then you check obviously 8 less than 9, then you come to the right path or right branch, then you come to this node. Here you classify 6, 7, 8. So that's called impurity. That's the concept of the impurity. It's nothing but till you get into your leaf branch, the impurity will be there. And homogeneity is if you classify, okay, exactly the point you classify your data into a leaf branch, we call it the homogeneity comes, means enters into the data. Okay, so where impurity ends, there homogeneity it enters. Till the point impurity is there, the tree will try to classify it. Okay, suppose here you got something. Now you come here, okay, like this, you come here like this, still impurity lies, then it will do the branching. Okay, still for all of the nodes it will be, but we don't check because if it comes to this node, means the left branch, then there is no point of checking these branches, right? Only we can left branches. Okay, now this is the point. At last you got it classified here. So we call it in all the nodes the impurity is there, that's why it classified, means going to the depth more and more, and that point it reaches the leaf node, it's called the homogeneity for the dysentery. Is the impurity, there are two impurities, one is called Gini and the other one is called entropy. Okay, hyperparameter is the data supplied by you, okay, for the model building. You have to specifically supply, like the k value, whether it will be a 3, 7, 9, 11, you have to mention at the time of building the algorithm. While you do the fit, like knn, like an n neighbors fit or logistic regression fit, if you supply anything, the data, then it's called the hyperparameter. So there is a value for the impurity. Okay, so it's a hyperparameter. That means you can change it as per your according. The by default is the entropy. The model will always take entropy value. Okay, just remember it's a hyperparameter. There is a good amount of statistics and maths behind calculation of the entropy, but no need to go there because model is there. You should know that how to use the model instead of building it, because that's the researcher's task to building the model. So the hyperparameter is Gini and entropy. You can change it. By default, the model will take entropy. If you want, you have to mention like the dysentery you have imported. In short form, I'm writing dysentery classifier DTC dot fit. Okay, in DTC will show a hands-on where it will be much clear. DTC dot fit, in that you have given your X train. Okay, you have given your Y train. Okay, then there is a parameter called Gini. In impurity, you have to give equal to, it's a string, so Gini. Your model will be built with Gini entropy. Impurity equal to Gini is a hyperparameter. That means you can change it. Okay, the regression trees are needed when response variable is numeric. Okay, we have gone through the regression, what is continuous value. Since the target variable doesn't have classes, we fit a regression model to get the variable using each of the independent variables. Nothing, it only tells that there is no class, that's why it's regression. Obviously, we are trying to predict a number, so it's regression. Okay, and basically the error predicted means normally it takes the sum of squared errors. That also not required for you because the tree is by default will take the SSE error. The variable point yielding the lowest SSE is chosen as the root node and split point among the all variables. Here for a regression, okay, like the classification, it reaches the leaf node. Same for the regression, it will try to classify till it reaches the lowest node. But here there is no rule, right? Yes or no, there is no rule because you are predicting a number. So here what happens for the regression, it checks a error. Okay, what is the actual and what you are predicting. Only you have to do it. Instead of DTC, it's a DTR, dysentery regression. You have to fit X train, Y train. In the impurity, it will be error. A greedy algorithm is an algorithm paradigm that follows the problem solving heuristic of making the locally optimal choice at each stage with intent of finding a global premium. The decision tree splits at each node for the variable which provides the maximum information or gain. Every time it has to see that once it is divided, okay, it is getting some information. That means it's getting another condition. Okay, then only it will divide. Suppose if you see here this is the from the root node, it comes to the second and then to the third. Okay, these are first, second, third. At third there is no branching. That means here it reaches to the homogeneity level, then it will stop here. If it has more information to gain by branching, means getting to the exact correct leaf, then it will go on. The problem with the greedy approach that will come to the next level, okay, means in the next slide. For the time being, this is nothing like it tries to create some boundary in actual data. So wherever it is less than left side, it's called the red circle, and if it falls to the right side, it is blue circle. Nothing, it's like a dividing yes or no. So the pure reason, if everything belongs to either of two classes, then it's a pure reason. Okay, like I told you, pure reason is nothing but your homogeneity. So if it exactly comes to the exact leaf node, then it's called the homogeneity or pure reason. Say out of 100 customers, 87 like red Honda cars and the rest 13 do not like them. It's a clear cut, right? 100, one is 87 one side, that another side is 37. If you see here, it's the number 100 is there. Like Honda car, doesn't like Honda car, it's a condition we are putting. In the like we got it 87, in the dislike part we got it 13. Then it will stop here. Similarly, if 48 customers like white Toyota versus 52 not liking them, okay, this part also I have covered where to split till the point the impurity is there. Okay, so till that point the decision tree will keep on splitting. Where to split? The point it reaches the homogeneity level. Homogeneity is nothing but the accurate level. If you see here the purity of reason, okay, so that accuracy means the impurity, what it will do, it will check for the accuracy. It will check whether the impurity is there or not. That means it has reached to accuracy or not. If the impurity is there, that means it has not reached to a high accuracy, so it will keep on splitting. Okay, so if you see the accuracy is 50%, it will keep on splitting. Accuracy 50%, 67, 67, then it comes to the 100, it will stop here. Entropy, I told you, it's a impurity method. It's a hyperparameter. You have to give it as a condition while building the tree. For that, how entropy is calculated? Dice is of 1 to 6. So probability of event is obviously once you throw a die, what's the probability that one number will appear? That is 1 by 6, right? Because in total there are having 6 different numbers, 1 2 3 4 5 6. If you roll a dice in the Ludo, so what is the probability of getting 3? The number of threes in a dice is 1. Out of the total different number is 6, so it's 1 by 6. This is what the entropy does. It takes the log of that value, and entropy is the expected information content of all the events. If you see here, probability 1 to n, and it takes the log. Probability is nothing but 1 2 3 4 5 6. These are the probabilities values. What is the probability you will get 5? Then 1 by 6. What is the probability you will get 3? By rolling a dice once, it will be 1 by 6, like that. So in entropy, actually it takes the log of that probability. Okay, impurity. Okay, impurity is nothing but your, it will affect your accuracy. If impurity is high, that means accuracy is low, like that. If entropy is high, the entropy is there, that means your accuracy has not reached. So 0 is entropy. When 1 it reaches entropy, that means there is nothing to split. It is the endpoint. If you appear for most of the interview, or when you are working in the practical sense. Okay, so it's a very important concept called pruning. Okay, so what is pruning? If the tree is there, this is the node, it will keep on branching, okay, till the entropy is high or till the impurity exists. Okay, like that it will keep on branching. Okay, the problem is, if you are in actual sense, if you have a data set, okay, of suppose 5000 rows, then it will take much time to reach into a correct homogeneity level. Suppose this is the last one where it reaches the homogeneity level. So it's a very short with a depth of 4. This is with a depth of 1, depth 2, depth 3, and depth 4. But in actual sense, when you get a data set of more rows, then this tree will keep on branching. Okay, so what will happen? The disadvantage is, first, the time. It will take a huge time. Okay, the problem is the overfit. Overfitting is very common for any of the model building, whether it's a deep learning or machine learning. Okay, so what overfitting? Overfitting means your model will fit to X-train and Y-train so highly that whenever a new data set will come, it will not work efficiently with a unseen data. Okay, so that's the called the overfitting. Because while model building, you give your X-train because you put it in the fit. If you see here, this function CLF classifier, okay, the you have created an object and you have fitted your XY. Here it is X train, Y train for us. So the model will try to get fit into the X train, Y train such a way that when it comes with X test, it will not correctly predict a Y, because it has learned that if you get a value of 5, then the output will be 7. So sometimes it can be 6 or sometimes it can be 8. That's the flexibility the model has to learn. Okay. So it's a very common problem for the descent tree. One is the time, second is overfitting. So to avoid this, we call it pruning. We use pruning. Pruning a word given, a fancy word given to a technique where you limit your descent tree depth. Okay. There is a parameter in descent tree is called max depth. Okay, max depth. When you specify max depth equal to 5, okay, then your algorithm will stop at the fifth node, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so suppose it's the fifth node, then it will, your algorithm will stop here. Because why? Because you have specified the max depth equal to 5. It has a cost because you will not get that much accuracy. Okay, 100% or 80-90% accuracy, but it doesn't mean, right? The aim is to get a model, generalized model, which will fit to the both X test and X train. Okay, that's the aim of any of the model building, that X test or the generalized condition for unseen data, your model has to perform well, not for the seen data. Seen data is the X train and Y train. Because we fit our model with X train, Y train. So the model will learn from X train and Y train. And we test it with X test. X test is the actual data which the model has not seen and it is predicting on its own. Okay, so we call it the pruning. The maximum depth can be one of the various ways where you can limit the tree's depth, and you can reduce the time taken by the tree. You can reduce the overfit problem. Okay, see here, these are the things you have to give while building your tree. Okay, like before doing the fit function or at the time of giving extra in white range, simultaneously you have to give, if you want change the criterion equal to entropy, then default is Gini. Okay, the impurity, we call it criterion here. If you want to change it to entropy, you have to specify entropy, default is Gini. Okay, max depth, if you see the third one, the default is none. That means it's keep on branching, go on, it will go on to the end. But it's always advisable specify a max depth so that your tree algorithm will stop there and you will get a result in a quick time. Okay, like there is a minimum sample split. Normally it is 2, but you can change it. Okay, but the main here I just want to focus is the max depth. It's one of the good pruning technique. Pruning is you are cutting. When you call it you prune a tree, that means you are cutting its branches. There are many parameters, you can go through this. Okay, the explanation for each of the parameter also, so you can go through and you can use it.
JANBAS training. Learn and grow.